Hey there, Capricorn Ascendant. This is your forecast for the week ahead, starting from Monday the 17th, taking you right the way through to Sunday the 23rd of November 2025. Now, if last week just seemed a little bit too calm, though slightly intense because we had this very strong conjunction between Mercury retrograde and Mars, this week is likely just to turn things around. I think this is the week where we're really moving forwards and it feels like a real sort of breakthrough week, full stop. I think this week is a powerful turning point. I'm also thinking this is the week where we start to really sense into the future and get a sense of what we're here to do and what we've been waiting for. I'm really quite optimistic about it. So what can I share with you about this week ahead? Well, first of all, we've got the new moon in Scorpio. It's not just any old new moon because we've got Mercury retrograde. So that process that started last week for you, all the different things that you've been thinking about so far, this Mercury retrograde is going to be in a conjunction with this new moon. So to me, this new moon is infused with the energy of what it is you're already creating for yourself. Now, where this new moon is happening is in a very prominent part of your chart. It's in the 11th house. The 11th house is associated, well, one of the best places actually from a Capricorn perspective, because, you know, especially if you're one of these savvy, ambitious Capricorns that really wants to like get to the next stage, you know, that you're needing to meet the right people. This is a very special new moon that could really help you get some of your bigger aims out there. It's one of these times, I think, where you could just meet the right person at the right moment and everything falls into place. So I think this is actually quite special. But it's not just the new moon and Mercury retrograde, but there's also an exact sextile between Uranus and Neptune. And this sextile has been going on for a while, but it's exact. And the last time we had a series of exact sextiles was back in the 1960s, 66 to 68. We've now got five, showing the wrong numbers, wrong fingers, 5 of these sextiles. This is a second one, but this is a very unique one because it's in the signs of Taurus and Pisces, which is a lot more resonance, I would say, with the Capricorn ascendant. So what I'm going to do is explore how this very rare alignment is working with the new moon and also Mercury Cazimi. So there's a lot going on. And yeah, let's get cracking. If you're new to this channel, by the way, my name's Louisa. Welcome to Feel Good Astrology. And yeah, I'm going to bring up the charts now. But before I go straight there, I just want to say thank you to everybody that supports this channel so far. And also, you know, like whether it's historical or whether you're supporting me in membership, thank you so much. So I've got 2 charts here. One from Sunday the 16th. And the other is from Sunday, the 23rd, a week later. And you'll see that the moon starts off in your 10th house, which is very prominent. You can feel very observed, very viewed, very public at that time. And during the course of this week, it's going to be in another sort of public place up until about the 20th. And then the moon will go into the sign of Sagittarius. And it's just going to rest a little while. And then right at the end of the week, the moon is going to go into the sign of Capricorn on the 22nd. And then you're going to be feeling kind of ready. It's like ready, set, go. I would say the 22nd is the time when it's like, yeah, let's release all this energy. Let's go. You'll see that with both these charts, I've put in this massive red dot, and that's to represent the exact place where the moon, the sun, and Mercury retrograde are all converging at the time of the new moon, when we've got Mercury Cazimi taking place all at 28 degrees in the sign of Scorpio. Like I said, it's in your 11th house. So it's important to understand what the 11th house is representing, and also to recognize that we've got Uranus almost exactly in opposition to this new moon in your 5th house, which is sort of in an opposition. Now, the 5th house is very much about the creative energy that you've got and your creative desires for independence, and also the kinds of excitement that you're really wanting to bring into your work and the excitement that you're really wanting to bring into your life in general, almost as if there's some special projects that you've got, some things that have really captured your imagination. And so this new moon up here, and Mercury Cazimi, is in this very, very social and quite networked part of your chart, and also in a part of the chart where you can get support, also a place where you can get funding, a place where you feel like you're coming into more of a global consensus, maybe where you meet your tribe, maybe where people are ready to collaborate with you. And so from a Capricorn perspective, this could be quite helpful if you're happy to manage them, if you're happy to let go of some of your power. Now, from the perspective of your own internal power, I would say, let's have a look at Saturn. Saturn's your ruling planet. Well, Saturn's down here, but working in a beautiful trine with the sun all week. He's also working with Jupiter all week as well. And then later on, well, you can see actually at the beginning of this week, Mercury retrograde is working with Saturn. And during the week, Mercury retrograde and Venus are coming into an alignment with Saturn. So Saturn is your ruler, but Venus is the ruler of your career. And so I would say the odds are getting better and better as this week progresses, that you're creating something that could really stand you in good stead and actually maybe get you get you the kind of creation that you're wanting to do but could never do completely on your own. So this is exciting. The big challenge, I think, for you lies in your inner thoughts, your inner programs about creativity and the desire to do it on your own versus doing it with other people. So this could be definitely one of these weeks where you're making some big decisions that are that you're about to shake off the past and do something really different. To me, this is a very liberating week where the decisions you make are going to actually, whilst they might cause some disruption, are actually going to free you up and help you feel a lot more aligned. Now, I mentioned the future. You see, at the start of this, the sun is in the sign of Scorpio, and then it goes into Sagittarius on the 22nd. And yet at the start of this, we've also got Mercury in Sagittarius retrograding back into Scorpio. Both of them are changing positions. They're going in different directions. However, what I would say is from the 17th, when the moon goes into Scorpio, we'll have the moon, Venus, and the sun in Scorpio. Then they're met by Mercury retrograde. So there's 4 very personalized planets in the sign of Scorpio from the 17th to the 20th. And so it feels like, and it's also the waning moon phase as well. It's right before the new moon when the moon is quiet. So even though I feel that you're getting a lot of social support, a lot of celebration, that there are people that want to work with you, collaborations, it might be friends of friends of friends. It feels like there are connections that are coming in from far and wide. As I look at that, I just think it's waning moon. There's so much in Scorpio, and there's these beautiful trines, but all in water signs. I think this is a time when you might actually want to be slightly quiet, slightly secretive, and welcome any new connections that come in, but do things kind of subtly, which is quite a Capricorn thing, subtly, cautiously, take your time. You don't need to rush. It feels like you're changing your ideas about how you work and why you work, and also maybe about some of your bigger goals. To me, it feels like things are changing. It might just be that where you've already felt like you've achieved certain things in life, that now you're wanting to achieve a different kind of energy. I would also say that whatever it is that, however you work with people, ordinarily that's about to shift too. So it does feel like you're trying to create out loud. But in this first 4 days, it just feels like you're doing it a little bit quietly, reserved, in a reserved way. It's important to get rid of all the filters or the other things that could be trying to distract you, the noise, the mess of human life in 2025. Get as instinctive as you can. Now, once this new moon comes in, and the 20th is a very, very powerful day. I mean, if you could do a day where you could really prioritize your future and prioritize your intention for the future, I think the 19th into the 20th would be very powerful. I do think if there's something you're trying to puzzle out in terms of the missing pieces for your next project, I think this is the day for it, where you're likely to get like the vision and innovation come together in equal amounts. And I say that quite pointedly because Uranus is in a sextile with Neptune, and this is the exact aspect I'm talking about. So Uranus is here and Neptune is here. And they're both at 29 degrees, both working with the sun, both working with Mercury and the moon at the same time. It's intense, really, truly intense. Uranus is there to shake things up, to promote a new idea that you'll actually take seriously. It's like shaking you out of your pattern. This is like a revelation that leads to a liberation. So I think it's exciting. Now, what kind of preparation could you do for this? Well, I think this is the kind of thing where you might want to think, okay, I want to think big. Like I would think in terms of, I think the 11th house is very much a business house, because it helps you sort of get connected. They're not your partners, they're not necessarily your friends, but these are sort of people who are connected to you, who become friends of friends. This is a place where you can think really big. This is a place where you can have this is where you meet people maybe on the other side of the world and connect in. This isn't your local connections. This is something much bigger. And as such, it can really bring in people that can change your life, like new coaches, new people who influence you. There are also something else between the 5th and the 11th that I haven't already mentioned, and that would be the 5th house can really show our children. And if you've got stepchildren, the 11th house can really show what's going on with stepchildren. So the sort of dynamic between what you've created versus what your partner or what your friends have created is really, really obvious. But there's a sense of a new start with things that haven't come directly from you. It's like where you're joining in with some kind of collaborative or friendly kind of energy. So it could be used in so many different ways, this energy. But Uranus and Neptune are working from your 3rd house, where you've gained some of your social skills, and it's encouraging you to be a lot more open, a lot more community focused, a lot less in your own pattern and serving the community a lot more. It's quite spiritual. Could be encouraging that spiritual side of you, that spiritual recovery in your local community. And then Uranus here in the 5th is really wanting you to get as creative and as independent as you can. So who knows what that's going to awaken in you, but it's pretty big. So I'd love to hear what you're going to do with that energy. I think it's great. But anyway, towards the end of the week on the 22nd, the sun goes into the sign of Sagittarius. That's the sun and Mars. That's you working very intently on what it is that you're wanting to manifest. And that could involve you making some changes to yourself, really relaxing in your body, easing off a little bit, putting your feet up a little bit, whatever you're about to get excited about, whatever you're wanting to bring into the world and birth in the world. I think it's going to take time. I don't think it's something you're going to just kind of like roll out straight away. I think, at least between the 22nd and the rest of the month, I think it'd be good to sort of relax into it. I always think that when the sun comes back, into our 1st house, it's really showing us the time when we're waking up after hibernation. It's as if you've been asleep for a while. You're coming into a time of rest up until the around the time of the winter solstice. So I would just take a little bit of time for yourself to, stay in that sort of quiet meditative space and start writing out your goals. Now, as we come into the second to last day, so Saturday the 22nd, the moon will be in your 1st house. And I think you'll get to play with this new energy a little bit and play with the new decisions that you're making. And you might feel a little bit emotional about it. To me, it feels like it's clearing something. But yeah, you're coming into a place of power. The very last energy of the week, I would say, is the sun going into a sextile with Pluto, from the 11th to the second house, sorry, the 12th to the second house. This is really showing that your subtle changes in the way you're thinking is changing how you're earning and changing how you're being valued. So whatever is stimulated in this week ahead, I think this could lead you to something completely new, a new possibility for yourself. I'm very excited. So I wonder what you're going to do with it. And if you are in this sort of place of planning and getting excited about the future, if you want to have a look into your own birth chart for 2026 and beyond, then just get in touch. All of my details are below. I've got limited spaces, before the new year. However, I am working with people to go through the whole of the year for them. So it might be you, who knows? But anyway, have a wonderful week ahead and catch up with you next time. Bye for now.